Douglas Cooling and Heating, serving the Birmingham area for 38 years. 988-3706. That's Douglas.
I'm James Spann. This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Tuesday, the 23rd day of August. Interesting day in the weather office. Got a quake on the East Coast. Hurricane coming up toward the Bahamas. Hot around here, but the humidity coming down. A lot to talk about. Let's get in there and take a look. We'll start with the Skycam images around the network this afternoon. First off, coming from Inverness. A view from the Wingate Inn. Traffic down below on US 280 on a sunny, hot August afternoon. That's the Demopolis Skycam looking north from the top of the Demopolis Civic Center and way down south, the Alabama Gulf Coast. Crowds thinning out a little bit now that school is back in session. That's the Gulf Shore Skycam from the Phoenix All Suite. Still some folks out there doing that parasail thing. All right, there's the water vapor satellite shot, Heat Ridge across the south. We've got pretty strong shortwave coming through the Great Lakes. You can see that comma-shaped cloud up there with that, and we think that will be a player in the ultimate track of Irene in coming days. And goodness, look at Tuscaloosa, 101. That's a little above forecast levels. We talked about low and mid-90s today, and we've got that elsewhere. 90 in Gadsden, 95 in Birmingham. That was the range, but Tuscaloosa is the anomaly today. But clearly, the dew points are lower. Dew points are mixing down into the upper 50s, so humidity values only in the 20 and 30% range. Not that bad today. And around the nation, still hot in Texas and Oklahoma. But look at the cool air over the Northeast. Boy, that looks good. See 50s up there across Maine and 70s down into parts of Virginia and Kentucky, Northeast Tennessee. Awfully nice, not too far away. Watch warning map, not a lot out there. Wind advisory, parts of Montana, a few little dots representing flash flood watches, and that's about it. Convective outlook for the rest of today and tonight. Got the standard risk up north. That includes places like Chicago, Milwaukee. Tomorrow, some of the cities in that slight risk are Indianapolis, Cleveland, and Detroit. And the rain for the next 5 days, not much at all here. Just looks awfully dry for the foreseeable future. Of course, the big numbers are over there on the Carolina coast with Irene. And, the big question is, will that thing stay offshore? Will it kiss the Outer Banks and go back out to sea? Will it affect New England? A lot of questions there, and let's just take a look. There's Irene on the visible satellite view this afternoon. Category 2 storm, top winds at 100 miles an hour. There's the enhancement. That'll be coming right up to the Bahamas in the next 48 hours. Freeport, Nassau, they are getting set for a big blow down there. That could produce a lot of damage and flooding, needless to say. We should point out that Irene is really the big player out there. The rest of the Atlantic Basin, a couple of weak waves in the eastern Atlantic. We'll watch that lower latitude wave below the Cape Verde Islands to see if that does anything on the journey across the big pond, but so far no sign of any serious organization. All right, modeling now. The models are shifting east. A number of the models, good ones, keep it offshore. In fact, most of them do. The 18Z run has got this thing staying east of Cape Hatteras with no landfall at Wilmington, no landfall at Morehead City. And, with that strong trough coming through the Great Lakes, let me tell you what, that idea is not that bad. I think there's a real chance this could be a storm that does not make landfall, but it's going to be oh so close. And obviously it's going to cause rough surf up and down the eastern seaboard. If it does go into North Carolina Saturday night, a lot of wind and rain. But also the other good thing, remember the worst effect of this thing is on the side that's off in the ocean, the east side. So, it might not be as bad as some of these, media guys are telling you it's going to be. Everybody's got to be vigilant. Understand, I'm not saying let your guard down, but I'm just saying, if that trend continues, then by golly, that's a good thing right there. The NHC track, I don't have it in the graphic set here. They've got it still moving up into around Morehead City Saturday night, but they'll have to adjust it farther east as they see these new models, I think, coming in. They've been doing that all along for the past 4 days. There's the intensity scheme. Most models kind of keep it a Category 2, Category 3. You got a couple that bump it up to a 4, but they all kind of show it weakening as it gets up into the cooler water in about 120 hours in about 5 days as it gets up toward the New England coast and the Canadian Maritimes. But that'll be a very interesting East Coast runner type storm. But again, clearly the trend is eastward. Let's look at the GFS, see what it does with it. This is at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. heat bubble over Colorado and New Mexico. Strong shortwave digging down through the Great Lakes. Key player in the role of in the motion of Irene. And down below, Irene is coming up across the Bahamas. We're dry. Thursday, weak front coming in here. That might kick off an isolated shower or storm. We'll mention that in the forecast, but don't count on widespread rain. Irene, Thursday evening at 7 o'clock Central Time, is east of Fort Lauderdale. It's a pretty formidable hurricane. Friday, it's making that north turn well east of Savannah. And again, some evidence of this dying front with an isolated shower. I guess you could mention that, but clearly widespread rain not a factor here. Okay, this is Saturday evening, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. The GFS has a really dangerous hurricane basically sitting at Cape Hatteras, right there on the Outer Banks, just kissing the Outer Banks. We're dry as a bone. And understand, we're going to have a northerly flow back on the west side of the circulation. So, if anything, that's going to provide a little cooler air for the weekend. The models are coming down with highs close to 90 on Saturday and Sunday. And there's Sunday. Again, this is 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. The GFS has that thing awfully close to Long Island. Ouch. If this is right, that's ugly. I mean, this is really bad for Massachusetts and Cape Cod and Boston. And even, of course, Long Island, New York City. But other models are farther east. And remember, the GFS has had a westward bias. It's been too far west. So, again, we'll see if the GFS wants to adjust things. But, again, if the GFS is saying it kind of kisses the Outer Banks, then comes right up toward Long Island. So, again, Sunday night, Monday morning, if you're trying to fly in up there, that could be pretty ugly. And there's Monday of next week. See that strong trough over the Great Lakes pushing Irene out. And, again, if that thing is pretty deep, it might curve it farther out to sea and maybe, just maybe, now I'm not saying it will, I'm saying there's a chance it might not make landfall on the United States coast. It'll be close, very close. And, again, it's going to make for some anxious days over the upper Atlantic coast. There's Monday at the surface. Look how dry we are. Can't buy a shower. And there's Tuesday, same thing, just a very dry pattern. We'll go out there a little deeper. How about the 4th of September? Meteorological fall underway. The GFS hinting at some type of tropical low southeast of Brownsville, Texas. And on the 8th, westerlies getting a little farther south, but still, that's not going to push any really super-duper cool air down our way, something we'd like to see. It'll get here in September, but that doesn't suggest it right there. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. Thanks for watching. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. If you're local to us, you can watch us on the news this evening, ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.